What's going on, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today playing some more Battle Brothers and the Warriors of the North DLC. Picking up a good bit after we left off last time. It's day 65, it's midday, and we are sitting outside of Camp Walk. That's how I'm going to say that, Camp Walk. And we started over here-ish after we took down that plethora of Reavers. What a challenging fight that was. Um, we had some damaged brothers, specifically Fritz, who took two major injuries, fractured ribs and fractured elbow are both pretty awful, and Wonton Fu, who actually went down and suffered brain damage, which ultimately is kind of a net positive for us, weirdly enough, but he's also severely injured. So our company is in rough shape, at least these two guys are. Um, but I just kind of had this feeling like I just wanted to get us past this point, save us, about a half hour's worth of battles. I took on some undead here. I took on another group of mostly thralls with a couple reavers mixed in, and we wrecked them pretty hard with our war bows, of course. And the fights were just kind of mediocre, especially the undead fight. We started at the bottom of a hill, and guys, I am tired of fighting undead from the bottoms of hills. But we came in here, we sold a ton of stuff, we bought more supplies. We're very well stocked considering how expensive everything was. And we're currently sitting at 9,000 crowns. We can go into the marketplace, just kind of see if there's anything we want. We're 10 days on food, lots of tools, decent ammunition. They were so expensive here I could only bring myself to buy two. If you want to just briefly look at some of the things we sold, some crude metal helmets, scrap metal armor, all of these really powerful Reaver weapons. Yeah, we sold all of those. And we made some decent coin. And we also went into the kennel and we bought ourselves... Oh, are they out of stock? No. What a weird glitch that was. Okay. We bought for Jotnar, we got him Wind the Warhound. So I was trying to look online. I really wanted to give you guys some definite stats on the strength of the Warhound versus the strength of the War Dog. And I haven't been able to find anything on it. I have a good idea of how strong a War Dog is with armor. They have like 50 health, I think, and their armor, when they're armored, is about 50. And their melee skill is about 50. So they're all around just like a really weak brother when they're armored. And when they're wearing that heavy armor, I don't know how much it is. I don't know if it's like 75 or 100 armor with 50 health. They're still very capable of being one-shotted. So how strong is a Warhound? Does it have 100 HP? I don't know. We lost one that was unarmored in our first ever battle with a couple direwolves. Just got wrecked. So this one is armored. If we can, we'll make him some great unhold armor at some point. But for now, we just need to be happy that we have Wind the Warhound for Jotnar to replace his friend Fenrir that died in the beginning. We also have some levels that we need to consider. Eugene has finally leveled to the point where I'm comfortable giving him quick hands. So let's go ahead and get that for him. He's been needing that for quite some time. And a 4 roll here. Pretty happy with that. What else? Maybe a 3 here. And let's take this 4 in resolve. 50 is not the be-all end-all in resolve. I would say around 60 is where we really want to be. But a lot of those points you can put in after you start getting just 1 point per turn on each stat. But getting him just a little bit closer to that mark, I think, is just fine. Here's a bit of a tricky one with Leisureside the Thaumaturge, and it's whether or not we want to give him reach advantage, considering that he is technically a polearm master, but for all intents and purposes, he kind of functions more like a crossbowman than anything else. I like getting those. Those are pretty big rolls. And we'll take this 4 in HP, just because we've got to get him over that 70 mark, and that put him in 71, which is perfect. There were some other really good rolls there. I wanted to take that range defense for sure, but just couldn't do it. So, Fearsome is an option, Killing Frenzy is an option, Headhunter is an option. The heavier his armor gets, and he will have heavy armor because we've already committed to him with Battle Forged, the less likely Overwhelm is to be a viable thing to do. I'm looking at Reach Advantage, I'm looking at Crippling Strikes and Executioner, which apply to both his ranged and his melee weapons. So, you know, there's no real loss there. It's just this is not very good versus the undead is kind of the main thing. Killing Frenzy would be great, and so would Reach Advantage. For now, I think I'm going to go with Killing Frenzy and be happy with that. So whenever we can go ahead and read that together, go into a Killing Frenzy. A kill increases all damage by 25% for 2 turns. Does not stack, but another kill will reset the timer. Very good ability. Functions very similar to something like Executioner. And I'm not sure yet where I'm going to put my last couple perks on him. We'll have to figure that out together. But now we have a 3 skull contract. Oh. Yeah, we're not interested. Sadly, we can't take that contract. It's for us to kill things. Not only would be difficult for us to kill, but in our current injured state would be very difficult. And I was reading while I was looking up stats for the dogs, I saw that if you have a Houndmaster in your party, that there's a potential event to get a wolf to join you. And this guy is Conrad the Kennel Master. A really cheap brother. I could even see like just recruiting him right now and hoping to get that event, but at the end of the day, maybe he's just an okay brother. The Kennel Master seems like a really cool trait, or a really cool kind of nomenclature is the word that came to mind. Probably not what I'm looking for. But the thing is with Houndmasters, they get a buff to their dogs. So whenever they're the ones that release a dog, they release them at like a higher morale, I think is how they add that buff. And that just generally gives them better stats. So I don't hate them. Their stats aren't pitiful. We definitely want to be getting better brothers than this. But we can check him out. Probably better than Albric the Braggart. And for 210 gold, it's not really that much of an investment. So Conrad's fondness for dogs started after his father won a pup in a shooting contest. For many years, the Houndmaster used his dogs to help lift the spirits of orphaned children and the crippled. When he heard word of a mercenary's pay, Conrad decided to try his hand at being a sellsword. What a great guy. We gotta hire this dude. Super cheap. He's not gonna add a ton of expense to us. He's dastardly and night blind. Oh no. Nope. Later, man. We are going to... Sure. His stats aren't horrible, which is the sad part. But I was kind of hyping him up in my head because I thought for sure with a title like his, he would be a great pickup. Let's look at Alberic. I feel like we're kind of throwing away gold now, but I'd love to get that event. I've never seen it before. The chance to recruit a wolf is just too cool to me. When a dog saved him from a bear, Alberic dedicated his life to the canine lot. Very old yeller. Employed by lawmen, the Houndmaster used his strong-nosed dogs to hunt down many a criminal element. Tired of training dogs for this purpose or that, Alberic seeks to train himself for, well, this purpose or that. Check him out. And he has Cocky, which is pretty poor. 2 stars in melee, 3 stars in initiative, and 1 in resolve. Initiative is interesting. Otherwise, somewhat decent stats. I mean, Cocky is pretty bad. You know what, I'm just going to dismiss him as well. That was an experiment, just to see kind of generally what kind of stats we could look to get. We threw away about 500 so crowns. It's not a big deal. Sometimes you got to experiment. If I was playing on my own, I might save the game, recruit, see what kind of stats I'd get. Just to generally understand better what does a Houndmaster look like. Especially when you get to recruit 2 of them like that. One of them had a good title, the other had a bad title. It seems like it didn't really, in the end, matter much. And as neutral as we are with House... What's their name? Is it Austin? their cities still kind of hate us. So we still can't travel the land freely. We need them to go from threatening to cold, and then I think we'll be able to start taking contracts from them again. We may as well check in. I don't really want to buy anything, to be honest. Oh man, we see our first coat of plates. And I also see the reinforced mail hauberk, which is a piece of armor I was alluding to in the last episode. Ooh, a full helm as well. Lamellar, heavy lamellar. The prices here are a bit much. Check the weaponsmith. The prices here are very expensive as well. And I know that because I remember we bought our great sword for much cheaper than this. And yeah, this is 4K for a fighting spear. That's quite insane. We won't be paying those kind of prices. Training hall. So this is something I wanted to do in Showcase. Let's get the veterans lesson. It's the best of the training we can give them. It results in numerically superior amount of experience. 35% experience gained for the duration of 3 battles. There we go. So now he's got that. And hopefully that'll help him to catch up with us. Buy our brother some drinks. Came across the drafty shack on your way here. It's in the swamps to the west. I mean, we can go check it out. I see swamps to the west. Maybe it's right here. Who knows? But it's daytime. We should be able to see it. And we've gotten lucky in these little small places before. And I talked before, especially in my last playthrough, about how bad those directions can be. I mean, technically this is the west. For all I know, that's what he's talking about. But we're on the edge of the map here. 9 brigands. Hold on, let's check the status of our injuries. We're healed up, mostly. But still some pretty serious injuries on Fritz. I think we can safely take this fight, but we may want to just remove Fritz, at least, from the battle completely. And because it's nighttime, their marksmen are at a disadvantage, just as ours are. But all we got to do is get lucky one time. Because war bows are a hell of a drug. There we go. And that is mostly what we do to raiders. Would have loved to get a little extra damage there. Let's step back. No reason to fight anybody on a hill. And we will let them come to us. Alright, they went after Wonton. Yeah, we probably should have shield walled just to try and help Fritz. I feel like they're going to target him heavily, and if we can shut these dudes down, we need to. Wow, lucky shots. That's pure luck. Don't expect to get lucky like that again. Let's make sure we go first. Good hit. 38 versus really no other choice there. Cleaver's doing great damage. Make sure we go first. We want to get everyone away from Fritz that we can. And if we can close the distance with this crossbowman, Yeah, we'll do like this. Nice, and he's running. That's perfect. It's all about maintaining Fritz's safety, and we can jump down all the way now. Was worried he'd still have a shot that he'd want to use. And we should not be trying to shoot, because it is nighttime and we do have quick hands. Eugene also now has quick hands. Let's not waste the ammunition. Or we can just smack a dude with a pole hammer. Bill Hook. Who's Bill? I don't know, but his hook is solid. That's a dad joke. I am a dad. I accept my punishment. And that's going to be that. So nice easy fight. We just got to be careful about how we... Oh, this is Burke. Burke cannot do that. We just have to be careful about how we deal with our kind of gingerly damaged brothers. It's not exactly what I wanted to say, but that's alright. So I don't know if I've mentioned it in any other video, but I think at the time that you'll be watching this, I'm either just now leaving for a trip or getting ready to. I'm headed to go visit an old military buddy in Maryland. And I'm going to be gone for like 9 or 10 days. So right now, I'm going to be pre-recording quite a bit. But I want you guys to know, of course, that I will be checking the comment section. Feel free to leave me any tips or advice that you normally would, and I will get it, and I almost certainly will respond. Just if I can't make, certain types of changes in real time, it's because I'll have a lot of episodes pre-recorded just to make sure that we have good content for you guys while I'm not able to make it. Svarog Erdnot, Lord of War, shares tales around the campfire of northern heroics and monsters. There can't be much said of his dialogue, given that he isn't the most eloquent, but he does a great job of it, though miming and drawing in the ground. One tale is of two lovers, and with great use of his hands, makes a riveting show of what it is to plow and be plowed, and apparently, what it is to be betrayed and stabbed in the back. You're not sure who is stabbing whom, nor when, or in what sense, but the tale has the men on the edges of their seats, and ends with applause. That's awesome. That's hilarious. I love the events in this game. They always get me. Okay, so nothing there. You know what? We should explore really to the edge because of this. That's why you explore to the edge. This game is always surprising me, and lo and behold, we find the drafty shack. They didn't really promise us any type of riches or anything, but this is a relatively easy fight. So I see no reason why we shouldn't just take it. We've gotten lucky, as I've said in the past, with these little rinky-dink outposts and gotten some ridiculously powerful loot from them. And of course, we're going to pass with everyone who's in melee because it will take forever for the zombies to come to us. Please, zombies, just walk straight at me. Do your best. In a fight like this, I mean, we could end up using hundreds of crowns worth of ammo. And I'm tempted just to say no. Let's just not do that. It's tempting because while we're standing in the swamp, our ranged weapons basically are king. And our melee weapons do suck. Especially for our brothers who are standing in the swamp. Some of us have some high ground. And we'll just pass again. It'll just be a lot of turns of passing for a minute here. Yeah, I guess while we're doing this, I can tell you a bit about my trip. Basically go and see an old military buddy. We went to language school together. Spent years hanging out, and from time to time we get a chance to see each other. And we have a pretty good time. But we're going to be playing, right now I've got it lined up, we're going to be playing some PS2 games. Some Dynasty Warriors 3 and Samurai Warriors. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that franchise. But I'm waiting for Three Kingdoms Total War to come out. And it's gotten me like falling in love all over again with the whole romance of the Three Kingdoms era. Quote unquote of Chinese history. But I've always loved that period, and my first introduction to it was definitely through the Dynasty Warriors franchise. So I found some old copies online, and I bought them. I actually was going to a garage sale, just kind of walking around my neighborhood like I like to do for exercise. And no sooner had I stepped out of my front door, turned the corner, and there was a garage sale on my street. And yeah, they were selling a PS2 with a bunch of memory cards and extra controllers, and wanted to give me all these games and DVDs, $10. Just couldn't pass that up. And after talking to my buddy, we figured we had to play some Dynasty Warriors 3. Looking forward to crushing the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Playing some Guan Yu. He's always my first choice whenever I play that game. What else are we doing? We're going to be watching Glass. I've seen it already, but he hasn't, and I want him to watch it because he loved Unbreakable, and he also really liked Split. And if you haven't seen those two movies, I would highly recommend it, because Glass, for me, ended up being a really fun time. The acting was great. I mean, it was just... Whew. What else are we doing? We're watching a bunch of movies. Watching some Stargate, just all the typical good nerd stuff that you would want to do. I bought a board game a while back. It was on super clearance at GameStop. And it's like a Samurai Jack board game. I don't know how good it's going to be. But for those of you who are kind of my age, Samurai Jack was like the best thing on Comedy Central for a long... Well, not Comedy Central, Cartoon Network for a long time. Kind of the first thing that would play at night. And they never really finished it. So, well, I mean, I guess they did. They did in a way finish it, but it felt unfinished because of the way they kind of rushed the ending. So they went back recently, somewhat recently, and made a whole new season that kind of really gave you that closure. And it was one of the best animated things I've ever seen. And I got kind of hyped, saw the board game on clearance, and we're going to be playing some of that for sure. I'll let you know how it is. I haven't really even opened it up yet because I've got no one at home to play with. My kids love board games, but they can't play certain things. And my daughter talks so much trash, you almost can't even play games with her. She just turned 8, but she's like an expert crap talker. I have the old school, the first, you can look this up if you want. It's an old Pokemon board game. It is awesome. Last time my buddy came visit, we ended up playing, me and him and my 2 kids, and I think my daughter was on my friend's team and my son was on my team, and my daughter was just talking trash the whole time. Super fun game too. We also both play Axis and Allies, so it's good to have friends that share your interests, especially when some of your interests are kind of hard to come across. It's hard to find a group of people that want to play, a really in-depth strategy game like Axis and Allies. You have to have a lot of time and a lot of patience. And in a world where, you could just jump online and play a virtual board game, it kind of renders stuff like Axis and Allies. It makes it feel obsolete anyway. Wow, they all just came right back to life. Well, let's see if we can put them back down. Some good decapitations there. Hopefully the rest step up and we can just wreck them. And also, hopefully we get some good loot from this. Because we are still trying to get to that 15k mark. We've spent a little bit. We've not been as frugal as we could have been. Alright, I think we'll step up here. And we're a bit tired from fighting in the muck, I think. Nice. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen. Just move in a slightly better position. But yeah, I've got a lot of things planned right now. Things for videos that I want to get done before I leave. Tomorrow I'm going to spend all day if I can. I want to be recording. I tried to record a while back for Surviving Mars. It's a game that I really enjoyed. I found it on Steam. It's like a what's a similar style of game? Hard to come up with something off the top of my head, but it's a really fun, almost like a base building RTS style game where you just try and survive on Mars, and we didn't really get anything good here. But they just came out with an expansion where you essentially like terraform Mars, and I know I didn't describe that well, and I didn't maybe make it sound appealing. Sorry about that. But it is a good game, and a lot of their expansions are just like too pricey. I think they charge too much. They're kind of like price gouging a little bit. But this one actually looks like it might be worth the value. So I kind of want to buy it just to experience it. And I figured if I was going to buy it and play it myself, that I should bring you guys along for the ride. So maybe I'll do a small series on that, kind of the same way that I did Northgard. And if there's interest for it, I could consider, continue playing it. You just got to let me know, because I'm down for anything. I just want to have a nice mix of content. I still have a little bit more to do in Forager. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that series, because it's been pretty time consuming. And of course more Total War and Three Kingdoms coming out. So there are a lot of things happening on the channel. And we just, actually as I'm recording this, we just broke the 150 mark. So I should probably say thank you very much for that. For those of you who especially have recently subscribed. That's huge to me. It's a big milestone, and I'm not gonna cry or anything, but I mean it's pretty sweet. I think we take the 3 here, and I almost want to take a 3 to initiative because I kind of want to get overwhelm on Ozzy. It just comes down to, you know what? We'll take Executioner for now. We'll take the 4. We'll take the 2, and I think man, this 4 is so tempting. Put us over 100 on an Archer is kind of insane. The 3's not bad in range defense as well. I think I'll just take that. That's just a more solid perk. So our original thought was that we might do a completely heavily armored back line. Just battle forged all the way across. But I'm not sold on that 100% quite yet. Another good 4 in range skill. I think his last one was a 4 as well. Definitely need some more fatigue. And we could do with, I don't like a 2 there. Let's just get him that 3 and melee defense. And then here we could make him a crossbow master, which I like. We could also just give him quick hands right now, which I also like. And I think that's what we're going to do. It just comes up too often. It lets you pull off some sick stuff. And now we're good to go. So let's see what's in this worn down fortress. I'm expecting raiders. Maybe a leader. 10. Can we see all 10? Looks like we can. It's hard to count when they're moving around. But they look like 10 to me, so I don't expect to see a leader, I guess. And they're putting a shield in front of their marksman. Wow, we didn't kill him. Good shot. Let the front line handle the front line. The only one I'm really worried about is Fritz. Actually, it looks like he may have been healed. Huh. We could send Isaac forward, but I'm wary of doing that simply because I don't want him to get isolated and then shot like twice, and then this guy hits him with a pick, he hits him, and the next thing you know, Isaac's in just like awful shape. Spear wall may put a stop to this. Let's just shield wall. They have the initiative over us. They're faster because they're more lightly armored. That's indomitable. There we go. So a single aim shot against a really strong shield wall is not a problem. I expected him to shoot at Isaac, which is why I indomitabled him. Had that pierced his armor, he would have taken 50% less damage. I see some throwing axes there. Really annoying that they left the shield boy back. Nice, we have a clear line of sight back here, and we're going to take those shots all day long. Huh. Let's go for this. 35 versus 35. I'll take it. 22. Alright, Burke. Dang, you missed both? What are you doing, man? We're going to make sure we go first. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were thinking about running right about now. The big problem comes with the fact that our backline is somewhat exposed. But I think we're just going to have to sort of let that happen if we want to catch these guys. Otherwise, we're just not going to catch them. They're going to start running. But since we did use... Man, could we step here? Step in. Boom. Tie down. Didn't get to take any actions, but we could have stepped right here and used a split. But I felt it was more important to try to keep that crossbowman from running. Go for an aim shot. Riposte. Okay. That's how you want to play. Leisure side, get out that bill hook. Good hit. It's a dangerous game we're playing right there. Nice. Now we just basically slaughter them. Of course, we couldn't lock him down again. The AI is getting pretty good at using that shield bash. They used to never use it, so it's hard for me to expect it. Trying to get that easy, maybe potential kill there. Free up Fritz to maybe catch this guy? I don't know. Wow, can we not reach him? See if our dog will catch him. We do have a lot of dogs. We don't really have to be that stingy with them. Hopefully he doesn't kill our dog. Okay, not dead. Release one more dog. So something that I learned from reading more about the dogs is that it seems to be that dog kills split experience among brothers. I thought you just didn't get it. And let me know in the comment section if you know better than that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So if the dogs get the kill, you split experience among all surviving brothers. And with this many dogs, this guy should be just done. Because they should go in front of him. Let's unleash all the hounds. Let's see our beautiful wind here. So they describe them as being slower, but more durable. I'm assuming they can just chase less. They have maybe a little bit slower of initiative. And we'll see where the war dog, or the war hound, it's confusing, turns up. No, he's still pretty fast. Still faster than an archer. So it must just be that his chase distance is lower. And we picked up 2 levels from that, so very much worth it. And some gear we can turn around and sell for a nice profit. Yeah, this is a very profitable fight for us. And we picked up some paint, which I might just sell, but I might use it too. Let's see if we have anything we want to paint. I think it just works on helmets. Yeah, it only works on helmets. So we could paint like Svarog's, you know what, we could, this is already painted red. We could paint this one red as well. Because they're not going anywhere. The satellite helmets are going to be on our heads for, unless we find some kind of legendary loot. They're the best there is. What do we have left in terms of our perks? Take that 3 in melee skill. 4 in fatigue is absolutely necessary. And it's up to either maybe this 3 in resolve or this 3 in melee defense. And I'm going to opt for the melee defense. So Isaac. Isaac needs reach advantage because he is a two-handed user, and he will be probably until he dies or the end of the game. So what reach advantage does, let's go ahead and learn about it a little bit together. Learn to use the superior reach of large weapons to keep the enemy from getting close enough to land a good hit. Each hit with a two-handed melee weapon adds a stack of reach advantage that increases your melee defense by 5, up to a maximum of 5 stacks until this character's next turn. A single attack hitting multiple targets can add several attacks at once. If you put away your weapon, you lose all stacks. So, certain weapons this isn't good on, or two-handed, certain attacks. What we want to do is get him in situations where you can use swing or split to hit multiple targets. Let's say he uses a swing and hits 3 targets. That's plus 15 melee defense and range defense, which is about the same as just holding a shield. And that's pretty easy to do, honestly, in a single turn. Not necessarily to hit 3 with a single swing, but maybe to land a split and then get a kill in a berserk reset and then just to use an overhead strike. Something like that. And just like that, it's like your really tanky dude now all of a sudden has a shield as well. Really strong defensive ability. And if we do end up making him something like a lone wolf, we're going to be happy that we have reach advantage. So Svarog. A bit trickier here because we haven't decided to go the two-handed route quite yet, and it's mainly because we just don't have the correct weapon for him, perhaps. I think here we just want to take the melee defense. So reach advantage is not quite right. We don't have a mastery in mind. We could give him mace mastery. Basically, you know, 25% less fatigue on these abilities is nice. but 100% chance to stun if they're not immune whenever we use knockout. So at that point we just have to land the hit and we get the stun, which is powerful. If we commit to Mace Mastery, then this will be his weapon until we find something unique. And that just doesn't have to be the case. I'm going to hold off on assigning this perk, because if I do pick up something like another Greatsword, I'm going to happily, do something like Sword Mastery. And Sword Mastery is going to have to be something that we take on Isaac as well. Not a lot of perks left for us, so we want to make sure we don't waste them. And we have no contracts available to us now, so we need to head down to Burkwall and see if they'll give us something to do. If not, it'll be back to good old Dornan for us. And they do have a small contract. These are very reasonable prices. Oh man, we could just buy another Greatsword. That's crazy. Do we do that? Is that too greedy? Probably. Let's sell this stuff. I don't think we need to hold on to this until we make it to Dornan. A lot of that stuff would have been worth repairing. But all of a sudden we don't look so poor anymore. That's all just junk, because of course we cannot do anything with that. We're not going to spend tools repairing leather or linen jerkins and stuff like that. Anyway, okay, Greatsword. God dang it. I bought it. No regrets. No regrets. And there we go. Just like that. Just like that. Let's give our company's insignia shield to Sir Lancel. Man, something is really grating to me about the yellow on the shields. I don't know what it is. But now that he has that, let's give him Sword Mastery. And I'm happy with that. We may not give him Sword Mastery, because for all we know we're going to get like a legendary two-handed hammer or something. And we're going to be kicking ourselves if we have two Sword Masters. That's why I like to diversify my weapons quite a bit. And my masteries, but this is just too good to not do it. And let's see what kind of lowly contract this is. Okay, up to 20 heads. The region of 2 fields. Okay, let's see what they have for us. Tools here are very cheap, so we'll buy them. And we'll sell the wing mace. So where do we want to go? 2 fields. Okay, right here. So hopefully the game spawns in stuff for us to fight, and I think they do. Same as with the big game. Whenever they want us to go and kill linworms and unholds and stuff. We could face a small group of unholds. We could probably kill a single or maybe even 2 linworms. Whoa, look at all these footprints. What's going on out here? Where are you? Boy, that was confusing. A plethora of Nagzurhers. And because the little piece here is just a level 2 one, we know that there are no level 3s in their party. So if we're careful, we can just fight some pretty weak Nagzurhers. I like to just call them ghouls, because I think if you were to translate it from their, original stories, they're essentially just like cannibalistic ghouls. So the idea really is just to spread around the damage. Try not to kill any one Nagzurher until the front lines engage, and then as you kill them, to step forward and, you know, push them back. And we can just pass with all of our front line here. Alright, let's let them come up. Don't mind giving them the high ground there. It's just one piece of high ground that would have required us to move our entire formation to take. Not necessary. Whoa. Pretty big whiffs here. Alright, let's step in and get that split. Jesus. Make sure we go first. Same thing. And now we need to step up. Use Indomitable. Indomitable, very good against these guys. Because all they do is like these little swiping attacks. Step up one. Lock them down. We could have stayed in position and let them come to us, but they would just be jumping on the body parts to eat if we didn't do that. And we're going to get to go first, and we're probably going to kill both of these with a single great sword swing. Step here, do the same thing. Ooh, we missed one. Nice, we got the kill before he could eat. He was going like next. Nice. And the bleed killed him. And he's gonna run. What a coward. 65%. Beautiful. Pole hammer. Won't be able to swing. And it's a shame we have all these crafting ingredients that we're going to get from this that we can't use because we don't have access to a single taxidermy. Or taxidermist, I should say. Because at this point in the game, I would love to have a ton of the necklaces to boost our morale. I think it's, if it hasn't been changed, I think it's 4 morale. Perfect. And this is going to count for, we're going to run them down, many of the heads that we needed. I forget exactly how many we just killed, 15 or so. So that's 15 of the 20 heads we needed. And let's see what else is out here. It's hard to follow the tracks. It looks like maybe there was one other thing here. Going up. These are pretty fresh tracks. The heck are we following? While resting, the men start a conversation about how far away the sun is. Svarog Erdnot, Lord of War, looks up at it, wincing and gritting his teeth as he just about blinds himself in his measuring. Finally, he looks back down. I'd wager it's about 10 to 15 miles away. He nods at his own presumably accurate summation. Aye, probably not even that far. I heard a story about an archer in a faraway land hitting it with an arrow. I bet Wonton Fu the Faithful knows the truth. Interesting. So we can either ask our sellsword or we can ask our monk. Monks just about always come through. Wonton Fu the monk starts in on the conversation. The sun is neither far nor close. It is the eye of many of the gods, the scope through which they use to watch over us. Svarog Urdnot, Lord of War, nods, but then, curious, asks about the moon. The monk smiles confidently. Do you think the gods would shine upon us for all hours? Of course, they dim the lights a bit, to give us mortals a nice night to sleep in. You nod. Truly the old gods are always looking out for us. So some of us like that. It says bless them. So let's go and try and find whatever these paw prints are. Because that should round out our thing quite nice. And just more Naxurers. God dang it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take that kind of a fight. You know what, and since we can return at any time, we'll just return right now. It's not worth our time to go back out there and keep looking. So 800 something crowns, not bad for our trouble. We'll sell a brain. Anything we can't live without. Get some bread. And now let's head back over to Brochberg. And we're just going to kind of make this circuit until all of these lands open up and we can just start grinding that area. And maybe we'll be in luck and we'll head near Brunwald. And they'll send a stone watchtower garrison out after us. Oh, who are these guys? Some mercenaries. Who's hired them though? That's the thing. By House Harkin. Oh man, we want this fight. Honestly guys, I'm going to save the game just because I don't know if there's going to be any weird, like, it says they're hired by House Harkin, but I've had weird instances before that I didn't really understand, where it seemed like I lost relations with the houses that actually liked me because I attacked mercenaries. And even if we get some legendary drop from this, which is not going to happen because they're wearing good standard gear. Even if that happens, but we lose the favor of the houses that like us, I'm going to like reload. This is a bit of a test. It's been a long time since I attacked or was able to attack mercenaries. In the later stages of the game, you'll get an ambition where you actually have to attack a mercenary company. And the only real good time to do that in the game is when it's a noble war. But there's always been so much kind of awkwardness around that ambition that it's made me very wary of taking that fight. Oh, check out their gear. The dogs are nothing, but that's a war bow. And they have mail hauberks. We're essentially wearing the same armor as them. And we have better helmets than some of them as well. Okay, let's go for the archers in the back. They have fast adaptation. So when they miss, they won't miss too many times in a row. Eventually they'll hit you. Take him out before he gets a chance to throw too much more. And we'll send Isaac on a bit of a mission. Let's go for the split. And man, we missed the adrenaline as well. We missed the dog. And now we lock him down. Presumably we'll get this kill. So let's try and go for the bald guy because I think it's pretty safe to say... Oh man, we didn't get the kill. It is not safe to say. Absolutely brutal. More adrenaline. He's running. Good bleed effect. Wow. That hurt. Scary to be looking down the barrel of these throwing weapons and these dangerous bows when we've had them for so long. Kind of feels like we're the only ones that are entitled to them. Good shot. Yeah, we want to be immune to being knocked back, because if we're not, he could use his shield to push us off the cliff. If you fall off a 2 height, it hurts you. But I don't think we're in danger of getting hurt, but I definitely don't want to be pushed back. I want to be in range of this archer. Perfect. I was gonna say if we landed one hit and then this guy tries to run and gets killed, then we pretty much guarantee that he's gonna rout as well. And that is exactly what happened. Oh, we missed that. We've got him locked down at least. With 2 very scary brothers. And their hatchets will not be enough to hurt us. Sadly, he was able to push Svarog off. Okay, that frees up all of our melee bros. Let's just get in there. Nice. Happy to see him routing. And they're applying Overwhelm. Mercenaries are really strong. Having fast adaptation, nimble, they have Overwhelm, they're getting the benefits of double grip. There are a lot of buffs going on in this small group of dudes. And their archers are so well armored. They're surprisingly difficult to kill. Like, how many times did we hit that crossbowman? And he's still not dead. Not enough fatigue, sadly, on some of our bros. We're gonna run him down. Still not dead. Quite impressive. Let's see if Zach can land the kill with the company banner. No, he doesn't have enough fatigue. These hills have us exhausted. I don't think we need to waste any more ammunition on a defeated opponent. And down he goes. What do we get for all that trouble? I mean, a mail shirt. That's fine. And then a bunch of stuff we can sell. 588 crowns. Basically a full stack of tools. Oh, we got another war bow. That might be worth just keeping in our inventory. I'm sure by the time we fill out all of these bottom rows of guys that we're going to have, one of them will be an archer. And being able to put him straight into a war bow at that point will be quite handy. Repair all the expensive stuff. We don't have to do that. We can repair this simply by equipping it. And then we won't repair this anymore. We'll repair this basic mail shirt because it is decent to sell. And a heater shield we could consider using But we've kind of went full kite shield. House Harkin must, like, hate us. And that's pretty much it for today's episode. I mean, we're at an hour right now. I love how it sounds, the battle horn for peasants. Whoa, what is this? Mustering troops. Order has been given to muster troops for service in the settlement. Equipment and recruits are in short supply, but a quick crown can be made selling arms and armor here. How quick? How good a crown? Oh, the prices here are excellent. Sell it all. Sell it all. I think that's fine. What are the prices of tools? Not bad. We can buy that. Just want to stock up a little bit before we head over to Dornan. Those prices were great. Check the weaponsmith. Of course, everything's in short supply, but you never know what they leave behind. Dogs, of course, they only have those, but they might have had some armor for the dogs, which we could have bought. And let's just head back to Dornan and see what good old Dornan has for us before we sign off for today. Three contracts, that's what I'm talking about. But they do have terrified villagers, ambush trade routes, marauding greenskins. How that's going to all affect the price. 500 crowns for a stack of tools. That is insane. And their prices for buying stuff aren't even all that good. We haven't been here in a minute, so their prices have gone a little bit crazy. Wow. Well, let's check out some of these contracts. To Grolful, or whatever it's called. Let's see. We can accept the offer and say we need some time to think about it. Where is that at? Is that... Yes. So when we eventually want to head back to this place, we'll come back and take this contract and we'll use it as a means of getting paid while we travel. It's one of the best ways to get around the map. We just can't take advantage of it now because we can't move around the map. So someone's been grave robbing. Tomb of Old Kings. See where that is and where that'll take us? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So a nice little easy fight probably, hopefully, at the beginning of tomorrow's episode. Guys, thank you so much for sticking with me through today. Couple little, minor boring fights, but some good upgrades. We're looking fierce here on the ends of our formations. Our new brother Burke has made good use of his training. He's already up to level 5. And we're settling into our roles quite nicely. If you have any tips or suggestions, just let me know in the comment section below. Guys, if you've been watching and you haven't subscribed, I appreciate every single subscription that I get. I love talking to y'all in the comment sections. Consider subscribing. I work really hard on my YouTube channel, considering that I don't get paid. I don't make any money. I just do it for fun. So, yeah, show me some love. Alright, y'all. Take care. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Later.